Hello travelers, and welcome to a new video. I'm still in Wroclaw, Poland, and behind me is this church. This is a large church, and it's the church of Saint Stanislaus, Saint Wenceslas, and Saint Dorothea. And it's a very large church. You can see it. Look at that. It's very tall. It's also very wide. I walked around to the front of it, and it's kind of on this little hidden street, the entrance. The street on the other side is quite popular. There's a lot of people on it. So let's walk inside. Let's go inside this church and look around, see if we can take a look. And then I'm going to walk around to the other side of the street, and I want to show you this beautiful area here. And I believe that the street is Swedica on the other side. I'm going to show you that after. Service behind me. It is Sunday here, so I don't want to disturb the parishioners, but that is a beautiful church. In fact, I think it's the most beautiful church that I've seen yet inside. So it looks like there's a school next door. It looks like some kids have drawn pictures. That is so cute. I love when they do that. Beautiful artwork by the children. So we have this area. It's not so nice here, and you can see the side of the church. You get an idea of how wide this church is. It's very wide and large. There were quite a few parishioners in there, and they were still coming in. So unlike Spain, you can go into a church nowadays in Spain, well, depending on the church obviously, but a lot of them you don't see too many people, and here in Poland you still see a lot. So definitely still a lot of people that are quite religious, especially the older people. So next door we just have this big empty lot, it seems, which is kind of weird right here next to this beautiful church. We get around to the back side, and this is the bustling street of Swidnica. And you can see a lot of people on this street. Going back to, well, definitely we're still in the old town, but we're going into really into like the main square. The market square is on the other side. And I thought it was interesting here because I found another one of these little dwarfs here, and they seem to be scattered around the city, and I talked about them in another video. And here is the rest of this beautiful church. You can see it. They're not overly ornate on the outside. They are large, but on the inside they do look quite nice. And there's another dwarf on the street. So we have two of these little dwarfs. Look at this little guy, and he's reading. Looks like he has a little scroll. He's got a little dwarf hat on and the boots. They must be good luck here, or they must have something to do with the history. Oh, it looks like another one even. Or maybe they're mischievous little dwarfs. So this guy has a camera. Oh, so this guy, he's seeing them. He has a camera and a magnifying glass, so that's how small they are, and he sees the little dwarfs. So they are really tiny, according to what I see here. What is this here? It says a festival also. Malarstava. So maybe some kind of art festival. Then you come to this street here, and you see this building. It's quite beautiful here. And this is the Hotel Monopol. Across the street you have some more beautiful buildings here, and even over here. And you can see the sign. There's a lot to see in the center of Wrocław. This building on the corner behind me is actually the opera house, the Opera Krakowska, 19th century opera house with an opulent interior and traditional theater performances. So you actually have the opera house as well in this part of town. a lot of people walking through here as well. This city really has a lot to offer. I'm quite surprised by Wrocław. Sorry for my bad pronunciation. And here we have another dwarf, and we have a dancing dwarf. So like the lady dwarf, and she's dancing in front of the opera house. So how cute is that? And così fan tutti. It just looks like a large, nice building. From the outside, it's not overly opulent. There's a little model next to the opera house, so it looks like a plan of the building. So there's a roof. I was not expecting this in Poland. And this hotel next door is also quite opulent. That looks like it could easily be in Vienna or something like that, or Budapest. Looks like there's a tour bus out front. We'll probably have some tourists inside. A touristic area, of course. We're not done yet, so stay tuned. There's more to come on this street. You'll hear these guys once in a while doing this with the cars, revving the cars high. They like to do these high revs and like bursts of speed in the street. Honestly, the first time I heard it, it was kind of like, what's going on? It's pretty common here in Central and Eastern Europe. In fact, I saw it a lot in Prague as well. Boys with their toys. Boys will be boys. Got some more. Also, this is the other side of that church, I believe. So you can see how wide it is. We have this building here. It looks pretty old too. There's some decoration here above the door. And next door it says the Max Born Forum. And there's also a restaurant here. So some kind of restaurant there. And we have another pretty nice building here with the Euro flag. Looks like there's a restaurant in here. Max Born, 1882 to 1970. Upscale restaurant there. It's not the kind of place I would be going to much. Flag of Wrocław. How about this? There's a wine region. They're showing a wine region here in Wrocław. There's a lot to see here. There is a lot to see. And we have a very large plaza here. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this building is. This looks very nice. Very nice architecture here. The weather is getting nice now. Today's actually a hot day. Feels quite hot. So over 20 Celsius. But still you get some cool breeze coming through here. So it's not like Spain. It looks like Medusa to me. The head of Medusa. Does it have the snakes coming out? No, it has birds coming out. So maybe not the head of Medusa. So something similar. So I guess just a woman with birds in her hair. And here's a museum here. So the Museum Teatro. So that is the theater museum. Sounds very similar to Spanish. Spanish is coming in handy at times to read some of these Polish words. This looks like quite a large museum as well. So if you're into theater, you can see the opera, and you can also see a museum related to it. And look at this huge building. This is super impressive. Some girls taking some photos. A lot of glass. Let's see if we can go inside. It looks like maybe we can go into the lobby. Let's take a look. Maybe we can find out what it is. And some people have signed their names here. Paul McCreesh, Grazina, Pistrokonska, Jacek Kaspik, 2018, Charles Lloyd. There's something here. Let's see what it says. NFM Narodie Forum Muziki. So it's a music forum, it seems to be. So these must be musicians. Let's see if we can go inside and take a look. They'll let us. Whoa, this is nice. This is nice inside. Look at it. Oh, it's quite nice. Looks like some people working down there. So there was a woman on the phone. She didn't seem to be bothered with me, but I didn't want to go too far in there. Some guys behind me came out. It didn't sound like they were speaking Polish. I guess they play music in there. I guess you learn how to be a composer maybe. I did see look like a lot of people at tables, maybe like students. So maybe learning music as well. But the building itself, even inside we saw how beautiful it was. It was absolutely gorgeous inside. And also the side of it, it almost looks like a Noah's Ark to me. Similar style, like a giant wood boat. Of course they have the windows in it. That's my take on it, at least. Maybe you see something different. Chinkalnia, AC Wrocław. So a hotel, probably a nice hotel there, of course, by Marriott. So top notch there normally. And look at these buildings here. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. This city is so surprising. If I was dropped off here in the middle of nowhere and I had no idea where I was, I would never guess Poland. I would never guess I was in Poland here, honestly. So I heard the language probably. But these things exist here in Poland. So I think that Poland is an underrated country. I'm gonna say it right now, it's very underrated. It's much more beautiful than I thought it was. And historic also. Look at this building across the street. It looks like a palace. So this building here is called the Nova Giewada. That's my best pronunciation. It is a beautiful building located between Promenade Krupnica and Wodkowica. The building was built in 1867 according to the design of architect Karl Ludecki. The first stock exchange built was located at Plaza Solne. The brick building of the Nova Giewada was built on a 3-story trapezoidal plan and in the southern part of a 4-story building covered with sand colored plaster imitating rusticated stones. The facades are covered with sculptures relating to the function of the stock exchange, shipping, metallurgy, mining, industry, trade, and branches of the Silesian economy. The most representative room in the building was the Stock Exchange Hall. The Stock Exchange Hall also served as a lecture and concert hall. On February 6, 1891, Ignacy Jan Paderewski gave a concert in the building. After the war, the building was rebuilt into a sports hall and became the property of the Guardia Wrocław Sports Club until 2019. Until 2021, it was owned by the Military Property Agency. In 2021, the building was sold for over 16 million zloty, Polish money, which time will tell. So it used to be the stock exchange. How fascinating is that? How fascinating is that? So that is a gem right here, and no one knows anything about it. It's sitting right here. I don't see any tourists there. And it once was a stock exchange of Wrocław. That is incredibly fascinating to me. So let's take a look at this building that was once the stock exchange. Here it is, the Nova Giewada. I'm trying to say it the best I can. I'm not the pronunciation, but it's the best I can do. The neo-Gothic building of the new merchant exchange It was erected in the years 1864 to 1867 according to the design of Kegudeki, which I told you a minute ago. In 1928, the interiors were rebuilt in the style of Expressionism. In 1952, the building was converted into a sports hall. So that's nice that there is a little plaque. It's just on the side. No one is here even paying attention to this building. Maybe if you go on a walking tour, they might talk about it. Here's the man I talked about earlier, Jan Paderewski. Wow, these names are challenging, guys. They're challenging for an American. Your names are challenging, guys. My Polish friends out there. I'm sure you have difficulty with our names too. I'm doing the best I can. I apologize for the errors. So unfortunately, has some graffiti on it now. It looks like it has not been cared for, but a very, very historical building here in Wrocław is very, very fascinating. I'm actually quite blown away with that right here. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour today. I think we're gonna wrap it up here with the building that used to be the stock exchange here. Original stock exchange of Wrocław. And we'll see you in the next video. Travel Addict Guy. Dziękuję. Take care, everyone.